Good morning. It's raining. It started raining last night, so I strung up the tarp. I got to get up and face this rain. Fun.
Well, it's 1 o'clock, or just almost 1 o'clock. So I've been out here 3 hours. I just came out on West Raven Lake. It has calmed down. There was a little bit of rain. And there's some ruins over here somewhere to check out. I'm not entirely sure where to get at them, but I got on the 215 into this little pond like West Raven Lake, and I got to the end of it, and my left foot went straight down into the muck. It was like quicksand type mud, just a sinkhole. Pulled it out. I think I had the pack. I don't know what I had, maybe the canoe, whatever. Then I took a few steps more, and the same thing happened again. So, hello, loser. And I found this little gem at the end of that 645 portage. I don't know. There's always these morons, right? You know, it's really easy to bring booze out here in a bottle and like plastic, which is allowed. But, you know, cans are not allowed. A, they're not allowed. B, they go and dump it. Like, drink it and then dump it. Like, you went to all the trouble of lugging it back into this no man's land of backcountry, like, low maintenance area, through all the crap alders, through all these portages, and then you drink it, and then you decide it's a good idea to dump it by the trail. Like, what kind of are out here? Anyway, so I picked that up. Hope I don't come across a warden, because I'm not allowed to have it, you know? But I picked it up, so I'm kind of now liable for it. Anyway, gonna make some lunch here. I doubt that I will come across a warden in this. Oh, check this out. Huh. Look what got into my mug. Can you see that? Probably not. Some sort of wormy worm. Anyway, he's gone. Sorry, dude. I really don't want you in my drink. Well, I've come into this little inlet. There's the little West Raven Lake, but this little area here, I'm gonna check this out, see if this is the spot that leads to the ruins. Well, if it is, it's pretty dense, but this has to be the general area. That was a bust. I don't know if maybe it's obvious further down or something, but there was nothing obvious to my left, so may be disappointed on this front. We'll see. Seems to be the story of this trip. Things poking at me. Anyway, that was a bust. I don't know. Could still be up here somewhere. I walked for a little ways. I didn't see anything. I necessarily want to put a ton of effort into it. Still got about 2,000 yards or meters to go portaging to get into Lawren Harris, so I'm probably not gonna go crazy trying to find this thing. Sure, I'm glad I'm going down this thing. Still in West Raven Creek. Sooner or later here, I'm gonna hit the junction with, I'm thinking it might be just up here, junction with Birchcliff Creek. And I have to make sure I do a sharp left. I think this is going to be it here. This looks like the kind of place. Creek over there, and this is our route.
Good morning. Day 4. Lawren Harris Lake. This is a mistake staying on this site. Oh man. So got here, it was totally windy, rainy. I put up my tarp. That took a lot of doing. The wind is flowing right through this site. The site is in the middle of this island, and it's like it could not be more exposed. So just I'll try to show you after if the rain doesn't hit again, but still some rain, stuff lingering, wind. It's nice out there now compared to what it was, but last night. But man, oh. So I really couldn't film anything. I was just exhausted too. Exhausted. I'll be honest. I'm thinking of changing up my route somehow. Yeah, I got along. I don't know. I got many kilometers to. I was supposed to go down to the Nipissing by way of the Gibson portage through Gibson Lake. These portages are totally kicking it out of me. I'm going to have to do a 2-kilometer portage regardless of which direction I go. But I'm kind of thinking I might just straight line it down to the Nip from here, which would involve, I guess, 500 meters or something into Bardell Lake, and then another 1920 onto the Nip. And then from there, head down on the ways, try to find a nice, a spot to camp. The problem is a lot of the places along the Nipissing are taken. And the mosquitoes have started to come out. There's some there's one right there. There's another one drifting around here somewhere. That sucks. Oh, and there's slugs. There's a slug on my look at my double chin. There's a slug on my shoe. That's okay. Slugs are harmless. Woo! Yeah, so here's the scene at Lawren Harris Lake. It is May 20th? So there's my attempted tarp setup. Woo! What a disaster that was. Well, it worked for a while. It worked while it needed to last night, and then this morning, the wind shifted. So as you can see, basically, I've got exposure on one side and exposure on another side. And the wind was coming from that direction last night, which I believe is the east. And then right now it seems to have shifted to sort of the south. But earlier it was coming from the west. So we're getting it from all sides here. Major exposure for a spring site. Not a great choice. This would be lovely in the middle of bug season, where you were warm and you're just looking for protection from the bugs, because this would blow them all out. Now, having said that, I did spot 2 or 3 mosquitoes on my tent fly, or not my tent fly, but my tent screen netting for the first time this morning. So they're probably on the way. Hopefully they won't be out in abundance before my trip is over, because I really don't feel like dealing with bugs and all this other craziness. But today I think I'm going to be heading straight to the Nipissing. I'm not going to do Gibson Lake. The bod is feeling it.
Woo! Well, 10:51 a.m. and I'm leaving Lawren Harris. And the question now is exactly where am I going to go? Am I going to follow my original route, going to Gibson, and then on down the huge portage that I could be disastrous. Certainly going to be the most serious portage of the trip if I do it. If I don't do it, then probably the portage around Allen Rapids is going to be the biggest, although not necessarily the hardest. So I'm here at a campsite on the side of, at the end of Nod Lake, just before the 1900 portage. Made my decision. I'm going straight over to the Nipissing. I can't deal with the wind. That's going to be on Gibson Lake and the portages before. I'm exhausted, and I need to deal with that. Welcome to Camp 4. It's misting again. This is the Nod Lake portage from the Nipissing. And there's the Nipissing. So, this campsite is not a fantastic campsite, but the one that I was looking at further downriver is certainly no better than this. The only difference is that one's on a rapid and this one is not. So that's neither here nor there as far as I'm concerned. It is about 2:30 in the afternoon, and yeah, 2:33, and that's good enough for me. I'm done. I've spent. I just need to relax. Gonna make a camp, take my time. Right now I'm parched, so I gotta get something to drink, and then probably set up my tarp. Go from there. Tarp up. This time I'm using the boat, and since the wind isn't blowing, it's a much easier job getting a rig. I like this. I might even be able to have a little fire going in there. Not much, that's for sure, because I'm not, way up off the fire. I'm probably 6 feet or something off the fire, so but hey, good enough for me to stand in, so I like that. That's better than yesterday, and well, I got more energy now. supply of wood there. I don't know if it's any good, but I might give it a whirl. And probably need to check out back here. I imagine this is the way to the Thunderbox. Like yesterday. It's a long way back here. But there it is, looking old and moldy. And check out over here. As I was setting up the tarp, I was just tying the last rope here. Oh, there's my last rope when I noticed that. Now that to me resembles old bear scat. Could be there was something around now. Interesting. Looks like there is some disturbance back here. But yeah, I mean, this is heavily moose browsed. You can see we've been at this stuff and everything. So I imagine that's the story. I can't make out the prints, and you won't be able to see them in the GoPro. So a couple different tent spots. There's this one, which is what I was first envisioning, and may still be what I take. It's a little bit, I mean, there's a couple of roots in it, but you know, with the thermarest pad, that's really not a big deal, probably, but as long as it's more or less flat. You know, you look at something a ways and then you're like, oh, is it flat or is it not, you know? I guess it depends on exactly how you set up, but anyway, so there's that, and then there's this one back here, which is less rooty, but kind of on the way to the privy back there. So I'm not loving this one as much, but I would use it if I needed, if I had to. But I'm thinking that. And then the next challenge is to find a tree for a bear bag hanging. Haven't seen anything so far. I won't bore you with dragging you around trying to find one with me. That is absolutely perfect. Could not be more happy with that. I can very easily reach that target. Simple as a button, and it's definitely high enough off the ground to meet my needs. I can get the rope way out from the tree because it's a nice strong branch. That's awesome. And there's even a little path in here where previous occupants of this site have obviously used it for the same purpose. Look at this huge thing that came down over here. That is massive. I don't know when that came down. That's obviously the piece off that. Man, I wouldn't have wanted to be around when that came down. Holy cats. That would have been scary. Anyway. Oh, alright, I'm going to go hang the brayer rope and then put up the tent, and we'll be on our way to having a beautiful afternoon. We got the tarp, we're going to have the tent, we're going to have the brayer rope up, all the jobs done, settling in, and having fun now. Did some fishing, got a very little brookie. He was hooked deep, but he's still bigger than the ones I was catching last year. So he's whatever, 9 inches long maybe. Not a ton of meat on him, but I'm going to make a meal of him because he was hooked deep. I don't have a choice but to keep him. So I feel really badly. I was just trying to do some catch and release. I didn't think I'd get anything, but I got him on about my 4th, 5th cast. I managed to get the lure right in the right place, and there he was. So probably about the last fishing I'm going to do, because I don't like the feeling of it, but anyway. Well, hey there. It's 7:45. I don't know that I've totally relaxed while I've been here, because it hasn't exactly been totally relaxing weather, but I've got all the jobs done. I'm about to go to bed. Cheers. I'm just finishing my gin and Gatorade. Yum. Before turning in, I've got to hang the food and then just square away all my other stuff here. Bunch of stuff going into the tent, blah blah blah. So, well, just when I was getting set to go to bed, I suddenly see this smear of sunlight on the opposite shoreline. So I was about to pack my food. Suddenly turned into a beautiful evening. There's the bird song. Oh. Perfection. Perfectly still. Just the bird song. Oh, never tire of that. Look at that lovely blue up there. Now I got a text message via satellite saying tomorrow the weather's going to be nice. And then after that it's going to turn cloudy again, blah blah blah, for the rest of the week. Thunderstorms on Thursday. So could be interesting. Come down here and check it out. Look at this perfect golden pond here. The ducks roosting nearby. Oh man. Nipissing River Valley. Nothing could be finer. It's got to be one of my very favorite areas on Earth. 'Cause it's got to be one of my very favorite areas on Earth. 'Cause it's got to be one of my very favorite areas on Earth. 'Cause it's got to be one of my very favorite areas on Earth. 'Cause it's got to be one of my very favorite areas on Earth. 'Cause it's got to be one of my very favorite areas on Earth. 'Cause it's got to be one of my very favorite areas on Earth. 'Cause it's got to be one of my very favorite areas on Earth. 'Cause it's got to be one of my very favorite areas on Earth. 'Cause it's got to be one of my very favorite areas on Earth. 'Cause it's got to be one of my very favorite areas on Earth. 'Cause it's got to be one of my very favorite areas on Earth. 'Cause it's got to be one of my very favorite areas on Earth. 'Cause it's got to be one of my very favorite areas on Earth. 'Cause it's got to be one of my very favorite areas on Earth. 'Cause it's got to be one of my very fa Clouds are moving.